disclaimer for this video: if you have not seen the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, don't watch this video because this contains a lot of spoilers. For those of you who had seen the movie, continue to watch. So, TCM's 31 Days of Oscar. I think it was 2 nights ago, there was their horror evening. And it started out with, well, it was their horror day. They showed supposed horror films, that older films, I should say, that were classified as horror. And one of them was called The Bad Seed, which I still have yet to watch. I fell asleep on it. The Birds, which is a great Alfred Hitchcock film. Poltergeist, which I will do a review on why it is the greatest and worst horror film ever made. And finally, they showed Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. And in this movie, it stars Bette Davis as Baby Jane, adult Baby Jane, and Joan Crawford as adult Blanche, who's her sister, older sister, to add. But one question though before I start. How come in every movie the character that gets the most torture done to her is always a character named Blanche? A Streetcar Named Desire, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, any movie you could think of, there's always a character named Blanche who always has problems happening to her. I don't get it. But, so, this starts off with showing the year 1917, where Baby Jane is obviously a sensation with audiences as a child star on the vaudeville stage. And then you see Blanche, who's a sister, who's jealous of her younger sister, Baby Jane, and doesn't like that she's getting all the attention, and then her mother tells her that she's the lucky one, really, because she's going to grow up, be bigger than her sister, and she's going to get all the attention. Forward to 1927, and, well, you know, Blanche has a successful career as an actress and as a screenwriter and director, showcasing that there were very few actors, directors, and screenwriters who actually did that, who were all 3 roles in one, or 4, depending on whatever they decide to produce their own work. So, you see Blanche being nice and trying to get Baby Jane's career back on track and trying to get her in the movies. Well, that doesn't work out. So, fast forward to 1936. This is where the film gets into its plotline. And you see, you don't know who it is yet, but you see one of the sisters go open the gate, and you see one of the sisters put the car in drive to run the other one over. You see one screaming, and then all you see is the crashed gate, all you see originally is the car hitting the gate, and then you see the gate crash, and one sister's gone, and the other one's gone. So, guys, stay on a sec real quick. Come on, Oreo. Go. That's my cat. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So it shows the current day, and they're living in a house that was owned by a former star, and you obviously see Blanche in a wheelchair, and you see Baby Jane as an alcoholic and giving her sister food and all that, pretty much taking care of her. And then within the same scene you see the housemaid, and you see that Jane isn't as friendly as she was when she was younger. And you see the housemaid gets a funny feeling off Jane. So when you see this, you're thinking, did Jane cripple her sister? And that's the impression you're under for almost the whole movie until the end. During the duration of this film, you see Baby Jane keep becoming more of an alcoholic than she was to begin with. And this is also kind of a dissecting of this movie. So you start to question, why is Baby Jane an alcoholic? Does she feel guilty about crippling her sister? Is she upset that her film career went down the toilet in 1927? I mean, why is she an alcoholic? That's what keeps you wondering why she's an alcoholic. But then what's even worse is the fact that she's so vindictive towards her sister, but is she also suffering from depression? I mean, that's what you keep getting off Bette Davis's character. And sometime in the middle of the movie, she starts to have a nervous breakdown where she hires a guy, Edwin, who's a British American, who is a pianist and who writes classical music. He's a serious pianist. And he's playing a song that Baby Jane sang when she was a kid, called I Wrote a Letter to Daddy, which is a true song of the 20s. And he gets a weird feeling off her. He just can't put his finger on it. And Baby Jane in this movie is not the star of this movie, really, even though Bette Davis won for Best Actress. The real star of this movie is Joan Crawford's character, Blanche. Blanche is tortured by her sister every day. One scene, she gets served a rat for lunch. In one scene, she thinks her bird is there, but really it's just a turkey leg. But when police, find that their maid is dead and they find the body, they suspect Baby Jane, right? Okay. During the whole duration of this film, Baby Jane keeps torturing her sister, and then when her sister finally gets enough courage to go down the stairs, even though she's crippled, to call the doctor to get her sister's psychological help. Sorry for the squeaking. Her sister, Baby Jane, kicks her hard. See, when you're paralyzed from the waist down, you only have enough blood to go from your heart to down to where your torso used to be working, and up to your head and arms. Well, after this, you see the unconscious Sister Blanche being drugged up the stairs. And when the maid comes to visit the Sister Blanche, Baby Jane gets defensive. Well, we don't need you, we're moving away. And she says, hand over the key. And she's like, I think I forgot. And I'm just like, well, go anyway, you're fired. But then she realizes she has the key. And she goes inside and sees that Blanche's door is locked. And she gets nervous, and then while she's has a hammer and a flathead screwdriver, she is trying to get the nails out of the door to pretty much save Blanche, who's the nice one. But then you see Bette Davis' character like, I thought you said you didn't have the key. I'm like, well, and she's like, well, I did have it. And she said, where's Miss Blanche? And she's like, I don't know who you're talking about. She's like, yes, you do, your sister, where is she? And she's like, I don't know. And she's like, give me the key. No. And she's like, Miss Hudson, if you don't give me the key right now, I will call the cops. She's like, you'll be sorry. And she gives her the key. She opens the door and she sees Blanche literally tied with her arms up and her mouth shut. Now, like you said, when you're paralyzed, you have enough blood that goes from your head, your heart, your lungs, your arms, and then where your torso is. So while she's losing this blood, while her arms are up, internally, Baby Jane whacks the maid with a hammer, and you could see she's startled by what she did. She never done anything like that before. And then after Edwin finds out the condition that her sister's in, Baby Jane's sister, he runs away and calls the cops, or finds somebody to call the cops. And then they're at the beach. This is the ending. They're at the beach. And then you see the unconscious sister on the blood. You think, oh Christ, she's dead. No, she isn't. She's breathing. She has very low blood left, but she's breathing. And then it's in the morning. The cops just happen to be at the ice cream stand, and a black employee of the ice cream stand reads the newspaper that says, I see you found the colored woman. I'm thinking, whoa, what? Did I hear that right? And yeah, I did. I rewatched the clip, and yeah, I heard it right. I'm thinking, wow, that's really messed up. The only black character in that movie says, "Oh, I heard you found that colored woman." I'm like, "Whoa, that still amazes me. That's so messed up." I mean, maybe they were trying to show that the civil rights movement was on the way of becoming big and successful, which I applaud if that was the intention. But I'm just shocked that that character said that in the movie. I'm just shocked. When I was younger, when I seen the movie, I didn't think anything of it because I really wasn't paying attention. But since I'm 20, I'm thinking, whoa. This is just very strange. Very strange to have that in the movie. So, after you see that, the cops are like, yeah, we're trying to find the sister, and he's like, is it going to be hard to find her? Like, no, probably won't. And then you hear the guy talk about, oh, that there's this car parked in the road. They're like, that might be the one we're looking for. And then they look, see a wheelchair. Yeah, that's the one. So before she buys ice cream, Blanche tells her that she wasn't the one who crippled her. She did it to herself. She said, the night of the accident, I told you to open the gates because I wanted to run you over because you were so cruel to me. But you were so drunk you didn't understand what was going on. You scrambled around away, and then the seatbelt punctured my nerve. And then Baby Jane realizes all the guilt she felt was guilt that the sister put on Baby Jane. And you see the tables turn at that point. But yet you see her still have a mental breakdown towards the end. But at first you're like, was there really a Sister Blanche, or is she just crazy? Then you see the cops find Blanche dead in the sand. So, yeah, that's the dissection and review of whatever happened to Baby Jane. But the more important question is, who was Baby Jane? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Can't tell you. Considering that she was depressed and alcoholic and had psychological problems, this movie could have been in her head to begin with. But it wasn't. That's the strange part. See you guys.